Adrian Peterson put the Vikings on his shoulders last week, but those might be tougher shoulders to hang on to against Tampa Bay this week. Hey, how are you, folks? Jason Horowitz. Glad to be alongside CBS Sports' Charley Casserly with you on the NFL previews presented by Comcast. And Charley, at this point in the season, do you think Minnesota has learned it's Peterson, and give me the ball to Peterson a little bit more?
I guess so. Okay. Hey, when you're behind in the fourth quarter and you're in your hurry-up offense and you're handing the ball off to Adrian Peterson, that tells you how much you think of him. Now, this guy is on an MVP course, the way he's playing this year. Now, we seem to have one every week, but he's this week's MVP of the season. Now, here's what's going to happen. Tampa Bay is going to stack the line of scrimmage. They're going to try to get an extra defender, an eighth defender in there to be free to tackle Adrian Peterson. Good luck. Adrian Peterson sometimes doesn't get tackled when there's a guy free. And we've seen that the last 2 weeks where I think in both games, in the last 2 weeks he's played in the fourth quarter, if you haven't seen him, hey, this guy's like a man possessed. He's running on a mission. And right now that mission is carrying the Minnesota Vikings on his shoulders to the playoffs. However, he's going to need Gus Frampton in this game because he's not going to have that big 190-yard game he had last week.
But what is it that you always say about Gus Frampton? I believe the words are, he'll keep you in the game. But what you're referring to is the other team, not his team.
Well, both ways now, okay? Hey, Gus Frampton's 5-2. Without him, the Minnesota Vikings would not be in playoff contention. But there's the number that bothers you with Gus. He's got 11 interceptions. Now, this guy can throw the ball. He can make big plays in the passing game. But he will sometimes make mistakes, and that can keep the other team in it. So if I'm Tampa Bay, what we got to do is we got to get our feet. We got to get a pressure around the feet of Gus Frampton. Why? He's not a mobile quarterback. When he can't move when he can't shuffle those feet, he's like any quarterback. He's going to force some balls, going to throw some interceptions.
What about his counterpart in this game? Jeff Garcia and the Bucs, they're 6-3. They're coming off a bye. But when you look at Tampa Bay, does it have to be Jeff Garcia, knowing that Minnesota is stout against the run?
Well, I think because Minnesota does a great job defending the run. Tampa Bay's a little banged up at running back, which we'll get to in a minute. But here's Jeff Garcia's problem. Okay, he's not very tall. When you have a quarterback that's not very tall, you want to get a push up the middle. And Minnesota has a great push from the two defensive tackles, Pat Williams and Kevin Williams. Kevin Williams is having a Pro Bowl season. So you got that push up. So what happens to Jeff Garcia? He'll slide and get antsy in the pocket, okay? And then you got Gerald Allen on the outside coming with the pass rush. So this is not a good combination for Jeff Garcia. He likes to get rid of the ball quick. I'll bet you he gets rid of the ball very quick in this game.
And the question is, who's he dumping it off to? Antonio Bryant, Joey Galloway's healthy. Ike Hilliard may be out for the rest of the season, so that's a different story. And you talked about the banged-up running backs. Ernest Graham, limited in practice this week. We'll see if he goes on Sunday. They brought Cadillac Williams off the PUP list. They activated him. They cut Michael Bennett. What does that say to you about what they think about Cadillac Williams right now?
Well, first of all, they ran out of time. They had to activate him now, or they wouldn't have had him back at all this season. Now, in talking to the Bucs earlier in the season about it, they knew Cadillac Williams was going to be healthy. They didn't need him early. They said, hey, let's not force a roster move here and cut a player when we don't really need him. We're running the ball right now real good with Graham and Dunn. So let's wait as long as we can, which they did. Now they got him on the field, and I think I don't know exactly what they're going to do here, but I think you'll see him slowly get involved. But as long as Graham and Dunn are healthy, I think you might see them go first.
And, of course, it certainly helps because you don't have to put all the stress on the injured running back as he's getting back. He doesn't have to carry the ball 25 times. He can touch it 10, 15, and as you like to say, fresh legs.
That's right.
Let's take a look at the AccuScore prediction for this game. 10,000 tests, 10,000 results, and in this one, the computer likes the Buccaneers 64% of the time. AccuScore on the computer has picked out Tampa Bay to win it. Charley, 6-3 Bucs, 5-4 Vikings. Who wins?
I'm going to go with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and here's the thing. We talked about defensively, they played solid all year, especially at home, even though they haven't played the better teams at home. But they still don't give up a lot of points. I think their quickness and speed up front will catch the Vikings by surprise and limit Adrian Peterson below his normal average. Then it goes into the hands of Gus Frampton, and it's going to be him and Bernard Berrian. And Bernard Berrian isn't the most consistent guy catching the ball either. I think on the other side of the ball, I think that Tampa Bay, with their pass rush, can cause Jeff Garcia problems, but I think he'll make enough plays in the passing game and the Bucs will get enough running attack. And the thing is, we talked about the two defensive tackles, the two Williams boys from Minnesota being excellent. However, the two best offensive linemen, the guards, Aaron Sears and Devin Joseph. That's going to be a fun matchup to watch. Tampa Bay to win.
In the trenches, we'll see if the Bucs can stay undefeated at home. Right now, 4-0 at Raymond James Stadium. For more on this game, it's a 1 p.m. Eastern kick or any other here in Week 11. Be sure to stay with CBSSports.com. Watch everything else on the CBS Audience Network. For Charlie Casserly, I'm Jason Horowitz. Take care, folks.